It felt like it was only yesterday that I was at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, WrestleMania 41, and saw John Cena make history in winning his 17th World Championship. And now here we are. We're about to get another PLE. Time just flew by so fast. This is your WWE Backlash 2025 preview here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. As always, I am Steve. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share with all your friends out there. Normally, we would do a live stream previewing this, but being that I had a lot of things going on today, I just didn't have time to do a live stream and all that stuff. So that's why you're getting a video the old-fashioned way. I'm going to try to knock this out in 20 minutes. Let's hope it happens. I'm going to be honest, okay? Everything's happening so fast. I was at WrestleMania. I saw history, like I just mentioned, only moments ago, and now here we are. A PLE's happening, Backlash. Can we let things breathe out? I'm just saying, okay? I just witnessed history, okay? John Cena, number 17, and now I have to watch another fucking PLE. I'm good. I'm going to be honest. Nothing will top what I saw in Vegas. I'm just saying, okay? But for the most part, I'm looking at this card. It's a very, very predictable show. I'm sure, look, the work rate will be good and all that fun stuff. As far as watch parties and stuff like that, I think we are doing one on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel on Saturday. And then after, we'll be watching, still live on the air, I think, we'll be watching UFC 315. So for those of you who are wondering, when will the post show be? Just wait for Monday on Steve's Kitchen, where I'll be recapping the show and all that stuff, okay? But I'm looking at this card. Keep in mind, it's Friday as I'm doing this. SmackDown is still on. There's 5 matches announced for now. 5 matches. I know Nia Jax just became the #1 contender for the women's championship. I'm sure that match will happen on SmackDown next week or on a later date, okay? But I do have the card here, just 5 matches. Again, I expect this to be a very solid show, predictable as far as the results, but nonetheless, the one thing that's selling everybody here is John Cena, Randy Orton, one last time. Keep in mind, this show is in St. Louis, Randy Orton's hometown. So expect this to be a very pro Orton crowd for the most part. But they are titling this one last time. Is it really, though? Think about it. Do you really think it's really the last time they're going to go at it? I don't think so, but that's just me, of course. But let's get into this card as well. In the comments, let me know what are your predictions for the show as well. So we do kick off the show here. And again, I could be wrong with this, but this is how I just think it might go down. But we start off here, the preview, with Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship versus Penta. Dominic Mysterio won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania in that Fatal 4-Way. And for the most part, as of late, Penta has been that thorn on the side of the Judgment Day. And I'll be honest, seeing Dominic win the title was like a holy crap moment. I was happy for the guy, right? And I just don't think right now is the time for him to drop that title. I think you need to run with Dominic being this chicken shit heel where he finds ways to retain the title. I'm sure this will be a very good lucha libre match for the most part, but I just don't see Penta taking the title off Dominic here. I'm sure Penta will win by disqualification for the most part, and then they'll run it back on a later date. But for the most part, this should be a very entertaining match, but I do see Penta winning by disqualification and Dominic retaining. Okay, from there we go on to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Lyra Valkyria defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship against her former women's tag team champion partner in Becky Lynch. You guys remember at WrestleMania, Becky Lynch became the tag team partner for Lyra Valkyria in their women's tag team title victory. And then the next night, Becky Lynch turned on Lyra Valkyria when they lost the titles to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And the explanation was that Becky felt disrespected. She's paved the way for Lyra Valkyria, and Lyra has not lived up to everything that I guess Becky, wanted, right? And also factor in too, Becky Lynch revealed that it was her who attacked Bayley. And I'll be honest, okay? I like Lyra Valkyria. I think she's a great competitor, but there's no substance, if that's the proper word. Good champion, don't get me wrong. You want her to go out there and wrestle, she'll give you a good match. But that's about it, And it's like they've really not put that much importance on that Women's Intercontinental Championship. Even though Lyra is the first champion, I honestly think, you know what? Just give this belt to Becky Lynch. Let Becky Lynch put some, recognition, right? Because she is the bigger name out of the two. Let her, hold on to this title, elevate it a little bit. And then after that, when it's all said and done, at the end of this, right, Becky drops the belt back to Lyra Valkyria and helps elevate Lyra Valkyria. Keep in mind, too, Lyra Valkyria has a win over Becky Lynch in NXT. Lyra Valkyria took the NXT Women's Championship from Becky Lynch. This is like the rematch for the most part as well. Also factor in, hey, can Bayley come back and maybe cost Becky the championship? Maybe, but I just don't see that happening right now. I do see a Becky versus Bayley program for the Women's Intercontinental Championship down the road. I see that. But with that being said, yes, I'm going to go with Becky Lynch. At the same time, I'm good. For the most part, when it comes to this match. And here come Steve hates women's wrestling. No, I'm good for the most part. From there, we go on to the Fatal 4-Way for the men's U.S. Championship. Jacob Fatu defending the championship against the former champion LA Knight, former World's Heavyweight Champion in Damian Priest, and of course, former World Champion Drew McIntyre in a Fatal 4-Way. This should be that crazy match that people will be talking about. This could probably steal the show for the most part. I expect everyone here to get their moment to shine, but when it's all said and done, I don't think Drew McIntyre needs the U.S. title. I think he's above this, in my honest opinion. LA Knight lost the title at WrestleMania to Jacob Fatu. Damian Priest, he had that amazing match with Drew at WrestleMania for the most part. And it's like with Damian Priest, it's like, where do we go from here? It's trying to recapture that magic that he had at WrestleMania, on Raw, when he was on the Raw brand. But when it's all said and done, I do see Jacob retaining. Now, let's also factor into they doing Solo Sikoa dirty here, man. They're doing Solo dirty. It's like he's become a complete fucking afterthought, So who to say too, hey, they play into the whole thing where Solo distracts Jacob Fatu, but I don't see that happening too, but I'm going to go with Jacob Fatu retaining and still the U.S. champion, Jacob Fatu. From there, we go on to Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Now, to all of you out there who are complaining, this is a downgrade for Gunther, went from tapping out to Jey Uso in less than a second at WrestleMania to now doing this, wrestling an announcer in Pat McAfee. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Cállate. Seriously. Look, Pat McAfee's a name, okay? He has a show on ESPN. I'm sure you heard of it, the Pat McAfee Show. And from what you've seen in the past, Pat McAfee can go. If you watched the match that he did at NXT in that takeover, what was it that the War Games match? It was him and I think it was Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland, I think it was Timothy Thatcher. I could be wrong. It's been a long time against the Undisputed Era. You know how crazy he can get. I expect to see that Pat McAfee in this match against Gunther, right? Remember, Gunther was not happy with the fact that Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were commenting on the fact that Gunther tapped out of WrestleMania. And on the Raw after Mania, Gunther went to attack Cole and he ended up brawling with Pat McAfee, choked him out. And this led to Gunther being suspended. Pat McAfee wants this match. Look, for the most part, Gunther's going to get the win here, okay? I don't expect Gunther to go in there and just mollywop Pat McAfee. You want to give Pat McAfee here some fight, right? You know what would have been nice, to be honest here too? Like Pat McAfee, if you watch his show, he's had a wrestling ring in his studio, right? Would have been cool if Gunther would have gone, gone to the show and attack him live on the air. Just saying. Look, it should be a good match. I expect these two guys to go out there and do some crazy shit. Maybe the match of the night. I'm just saying. But Gunther is going to get his win. Maybe bloody up Pat McAfee, put him on a stretcher, and you have Pat McAfee go away for like a month or two. But people just need to relax, for real. It's ridiculous at times how people just react to certain things. But I'm going to go with Gunther to get the win. And then we have the main event of the evening. John Cena defending the undisputed WWE World Championship against his longtime rival, Randy Orton. Now, the title says one last time. Is it really, though? I don't think so. I don't. Keep in mind, they're in St. Louis, Orton's hometown. Orton's family will be there, right? You would think that this is going to be Randy Orton's night, right? Randy Orton did RKO Cena after, the night after WrestleMania, right? John Cena's on this crusade to ruin pro wrestling, kill it, end it for the most part. And look, there's a lot of people who have this idea that Cena and Orton are going to go out there and it's 2007 all over again, or 2009, 2014. You're not getting that. Okay? Cena is not the performer that he once was. He's not. So this is going to be more relied on Randy Orton. But for the most part, they're going to go out there and play the hits. That's what they're going to do. They're playing the hits. Okay? They're going to get the crowd going crazy. Look, for me, it's like, nostalgia. That's what this is, bro. Like, we're talking like 2007, right? When they were going at it, right? For the most part. That's like 10th grade me. I turned 35 in June. It's like, watching, my early teens here, if you will. It take me back to that time when I'm seeing Orton and Cena in the ring again. And I don't think it's the last time. I don't think it is. I think Randy Orton will be the last match that Cena has when it's all said and done, when he does retire. That being said, do I see Cena losing the title here? No. For the story that they're doing, it's not happening, okay? Cena is going to beat Randy Orton in St. Louis in front of Orton's wife, in front of the family and all that stuff. Maybe Cody returns. There's been talk that might happen. I don't think so, but who's to say, right? But with that being said, Cena does retain the title here, okay? Overall look, Backlash, very predictable show. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad one. It's not. But compared from WrestleMania to now, for me, it's just way too fucking soon. Okay. But for the most part, that's just my thoughts overall. Give me your thoughts in the comment threads, your predictions, and all that fun stuff. Let me know. If you have not checked out the other content that's here on the channel, yesterday, well, it's Friday now as I'm doing this, but on Wednesday, um, we did a AEW watch party, something about Dynamite, sad, the watch along that we do here on the channel. And then, of course, on Monday on Steve's Kitchen, me and Chase, we talked about the releases that took place over the past weekend in WWE and all that stuff. Okay. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank y'all for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. And also thumbs up, share with all your friends. Follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. All right. Again, expect the review, the post show, the recap, whatever you want to call it, on Monday on Steve's Kitchen. Okay. But on Saturday, we're on True Heel Heat for the most part, doing the watch party. And then after that, UFC 315. But that's going to be it for me. Thank y'all for watching. And happy Mother's Day. Happy early Mother's Day to all the moms out there. All right. That's going to be it for me. This has been, me, Steve, here on the Around the Point Network with your Backlash preview. Peace out, y'all.